Okay, next thing we're going to look at is adding and subtracting fractions. But fractions that have a common denominator, that means their denominators are both the same. Okay? And I got to tell you, this is like easy as pie, so you won't be having any difficulty with this whatsoever. But anyways, so adding fractions common denominator. First of all, just a reminder, the numerator is the top number of a fraction. Okay, so we have 1 over 2, right? The numerator is the top number. The denominator is the bottom number. Okay, so nothing terribly goofy there. So when you're adding fractions that have the same denominator, you add the you add the numerators, but the denominator stays the same. Okay, so I'm going to go over some examples with you, but that's the general rule. And actually, just so you know, subtraction, the rules are exactly the same way, or sorry, the same thing. When the denominators are the same, you subtract the numerators, but the denominator stays the same. So it's the exact same rule. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go over some examples. All right. So you have 4, no, let's go 4 eighths plus 2 eighths. So our denominator, 8 and 8 are the same. So in your answer, the answer is the same. Okay, so then you add these two numerators and you get 6 over 8. That's it. That's all there is to it. So another one. So 1/4 plus 2/4. All right, the denominator stays the same, so it's still 4 out of 4. And you have 1 plus 2 is 3, 3/4. Okay, I'll do one more just because it's so darn easy. Okay, so 2/6 plus 3/6. Okay, what's our denominator? 6. It stays the same. Nothing changes, right? And you add the 2 and the 3, that gives you 5. 5/6. Okay, now if you're subtracting, it works the exact same way. So if I have 7/8 and I'm subtracting 2/8, the denominator stays the same. And we have 7 take away 2 is 5. That's it. Okay. I'll do one more of the subtraction, and then I think pretty sure you've got this figured out. You got 4/5 minus 3/5. Denominator still the same. It's 5. And we have 4 take away 3 is 1. Okay, so we have 1/5 left. Pretty simple, hey? Pretty straightforward. Now, the only other thing that I really want to go over and show you is how we look at things visually. So if I have a fraction like this, let's do some addition. So 1/4 plus 2/4. What that looks like is if we have 1/4 of something, right? And we'll just use a circle. So it's 1/4, so we know the 4 tells us how many total pieces there are. So there's 4, and we have 1. So there's 1/4. And then we're going to add 2/4. So we'll use the same circle. Again, the denominator, the 4 tells us how many parts total it's out of. So now we have 2 of them. So there's 1 and there's 2. So really we're adding up the parts. So we have, use a different color here. We have this one and that one and that one. So when we show that visually, right, 4 parts, how many do we have total? That's right, 1, 2, 3. And it's the exact same thing, except we're showing it visually, right? Right? So we add our 1 and our 2 to get 3. Our denominator stays the same, so it's 3/4, and our picture also shows us 3/4. Piece of cake, hey? Okay, now because this is so easy, well, no, I guess I should show you a subtraction one before I make it a little tricky. So let's go, okay, let's do this picture. So we're going to go 4/5 minus 2/5. Right? Now you already know what that is. Just as a fraction doing the addition, denominator stays, or subtraction doing the denominator stays the same. 4 take away 2 leaves us with 2/5. So if we have, let's just draw a box. It doesn't matter what you draw as long as the total matches your denominator. So the denominator is 5, so this has to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? And how many are selected? 4. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to subtract, just draw the same figure. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to subtract 2/5. There's 2 out of 5. Okay? So let's subtract them. Let's take this one away from there. That's good. They cancel out. Take that one away from here. They cancel out. And you're left with 2/5. So you can draw the same figure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're left with how many? We're left with 2. That's 2 out of 5. Not too shabby, hey? Pretty good. All right. Okay, so I want to pick up the pace just a little bit here. I'm going to do one more with you. What if you have, you don't have to do this one. This one's kind of extra. What if I have 4/5 and I add 2/5? What does that equal? Same, do the same, we'll follow the same process. Okay, denominator stays the same. What do we have up top? 4 plus 2 is 6. What kind of a fraction is that? That's right, it's an improper fraction. Okay, but we can still draw those. So here's your 4/5. 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 5. Plus, here's your 2/5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 2/5, right? So altogether, we want 6/5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where are we going to put number 6? We have to make another one. And 1. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6/5. So another way to draw this number rate, or this fraction right here, is 5 out of 5. This one right here, this is 5 out of 5. And 1 out of 5. That makes 6/5. And you would write that as a mixed number. 5 out of 5 is 1 whole and 1/5. See, this is a little bit of a snapshot into our next chapter, in chapter 7, where we do a lot more with fractions. So this gives you a little bit of a heads up on what we do in chapter 7.